Guys, what's going on? It's Spycat, and we're on to another actor that I have a lot of his movies of, and that actor is obviously Matt Dillon. He's a pretty good actor. I wouldn't say he's like one of my favorite actors, but he has a lot of he's in a lot of movies that are in my collection. I have probably almost like 20 movies or something like that of movies with Matt Dillon in them. He was in some good movies. Some of my favorite movies have him in it. So I'm going to go through his filmology, I guess you could say, the movies that I have of Matt Dillon in my collection, starting from the earliest movie to the latest movie. So anyway, guys, Matt Dillon was born February 18th, 1964, and he's 52 years old. He's from New Rochelle, New York, and I don't remember the rest. And anyway, guys, his partner was actually Cameron Diaz from 1995 to 1998. So that's kind of cool. That's probably why he was in There's Something About Mary. So here we go, guys. Let's get on to his movies that I have in my collection. So, guys, the very first earliest movie that I have that Matt Dillon was in was My Bodyguard. And this movie right here is actually one of my favorite movies. I had to deal with bullying when I was a kid, and this movie is just kind of all about that. This kid that always gets bullied in school hires this big guy, Matt Dillon, to kind of be his bodyguard in school so he stops getting beat up. So Matt Dillon kind of protects him and beats up the guys that are picking on him. And I absolutely love this movie. This is a great movie. Adam Baldwin, I wonder, that might be one of the Baldwin guys. But this movie came out in 1980, 3 years before I was born and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty good movie, man. I love this movie. This is a outstandingly great movie. Love this one. Good family approved type of movie, I guess you could say. And 3 years after that, the year of my birthday, he was in two movies. He was in The Outsiders, which has a lot of different actors in this movie. A great 80s movie, you know what I mean? It's based on a novel and stuff. Looks like my snapback version's pretty beat up. I don't know why, but takes place in 1966. It's an 80s movie, but it takes place in 1966. So it's about like the 60s. Good movie, has a bunch of actors in it. I've kind of completed this movie of actors, so I can actually put this back in my, what would it go in? Like kind of drama section maybe? I've already done Tom Cruise, already done Emilio Estevez, already did Patrick Swayze, not doing Rob Lowe. I was going to do the Karate Kid dude, but I only have like 6 movies or 5 movies of him, but maybe I'll do it anyway. The other movie that I have that was also in 1983 was Rumble Fish. The thing I don't like about this movie is, if I remember, I think it's like in black and white. Didn't really like that too much. I will be doing Nicolas Cage too. This is an early role of Diane Lane, which is pretty cool to see her really young. And this is the special edition going on there. Has some bunch of special features in there. Early role of Mickey Rourke too. And 3 years after that, he was in this movie called Native Son. This movie right here, I don't know if this is on DVD, but I know on eBay the VHS tape is out of print. Maybe the movie's out of print. This is kind of a movie that not a lot of people know about, that Matt Dillon's in. And it's even got Oprah Winfrey in it. Not really a fan of her. But yeah, Native Son, kind of a different type of movie. Oprah Winfrey. Looks like it's kind of dealing with racism and stuff like that. I kind of like those movies. I'm not a racist, but you know, it looks like one of those good message movies. This looks really good. I gotta watch this, man. I kind of got it because I knew it was kind of out of print and harder to find. 86, Native Son. 2 years after that, in 1988, he was in Kansas, which is a great movie. I love this movie. These two guys are on the run. Matt Dillon and Andrew McCarthy, the guy that was in Weekend at Bernie's 2. I will be doing his filmology too, because he's one of my favorite actors too. I have a lot of movies with him in it too. And I just love the cover of this. This is just a great cover. And this is a great movie too. And because I'm such a fan of that movie, I even have the media release of the VHS copy of Kansas too, which is pretty cool. Has some different pictures on the back. And there's yeah, great movie there. And about a year after that, in 1989, he was in Drugstore Cowboy. This movie right here is out of print, should be worth a little bit of money. I don't really see this at all anymore when I go movie hunting at Amoeba and Rasputin and stuff like that. This is a pretty good movie. It's kind of like a drug addiction movie because Drugstore Cowboy, Matt Dillon plays the character of a guy who is a prescription drug addict. He's breaking into pharmacy stores and just stealing all the pharmaceutical drugs that he can get his hands on, behind the counter drugs. So it's kind of a emotional, good drug movie, I guess you could say. This is one of my favorite movies. He did do a lot of good movies, man. He's a great actor. Heather Graham's in it. Really good movie, man. This is a good movie, and it is out of print because it's artisan. You know what I mean? And in, how many years later? Who cares? Anyway, in 1993, he was in Mr. Wonderful. I haven't seen this movie, guys. It was in the dollar bin, and it had Matt Dillon in it, so I grabbed it just to have another movie to do my Matt Dillon movie collection. That's the crazy hoarder and movie collector that I am. And I like that it's like an old school snapcase. William Hurt's in it. He's cool. I will be doing a filmology on William Hurt too, because I have a lot of his movies too. And this is like a cool snapback one. Looks like kind of a love story. Kind of cool. Got both versions, the standard and the widescreen edition there. I don't know. Have any of you guys seen Mr. Wonderful? I haven't. The puppy love. Yeah, it's some puppy love, in love type of movie going on there. Yeah, and that was in 1993. And then 3 years after that, he was in this movie, which is a really good movie. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember I watched it like at least 2 times. It's got Gary Sinise in it. If I remember correctly, this movie is about a robbery that goes wrong, pretty much, and then everything just goes wrong. We can look on the back what exactly it's about, so I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. An intense all-star action thriller. That didn't say what it's about. Okay. Date night in a small town, crooks who are in way over their heads. When a holdup goes terribly wrong, the robbers flee to a local bar. That's right. This is a great movie, man. Desperately taking anyone inside hostage. Yeah, this is a cool hostage robbery gone wrong type of movie. This is a good movie, man. I like this one a lot. And yeah. And if you guys like robbery movies, kind of heist movies, I do have a video on like heist movies and movies about robberies and stuff like that. If you guys want to check that out. But yeah, Albino Alligators, a great Matt Dillon movie for sure. And another one of my favorite actors that's in there is Gary Sinise. And 1 year after that, in 1997, he had it. I don't think he had a big role in In and Out, but he was in and Out. This is a comedy about a teacher. Kevin Kline plays the teacher that he's married, and all of a sudden he just thinks that he's gay. So really funny movie. Tom Selleck has it has a bunch of little cameos in it of different actors. I guess Matt Dillon's just in this movie. I don't remember him being in it that much. And then 1 year after that, he was in There's Something About Mary. Everyone remembers this movie. This movie was like really known. It was a great movie, one of the best comedies around of our time. Everyone remembers, that one part that I can't remember. Oh yeah, of course, it's on the back. Yeah, the gel part where Cameron Diaz. Yeah, I don't have to say any more about that part, but you guys know what part I'm talking about. Yeah. And he was also in this movie in 2001, a couple years after that, called One Night at McCool's. I haven't seen this movie. This movie right here was in the dollar bin. And I'm I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt right now because I just did John Goodman's movie collection, and I didn't add this movie in there. So I guess I let that pass my mind. If you guys are wondering why I'm not really all tripped out and all tripping out, I am trying to stop smoking weed. I quit. I asked God to kind of help me out in getting my life together and kind of living for God and not being a drug addict anymore. So I'm trying to quit smoking weed, guys. So support me and stuff. And yeah. So yeah. One Night at McCool's is, I don't know, like I said, it was in like the dollar bin with the deal. It's like 75 cents. Paul Reiser's in it. I really like Paul Reiser. He's in Mad About You, one of my favorite TV shows. 90s, 80s fan that I am. I have to love Mad About You. Yeah, I have no idea what this is about, guys, but it was in 75-cent movie. I had to get it to add it to my collection. And, a year after that, he was in Deuces Wild. This movie right here is a great movie. I remember I was 19 or 18, and I could actually go see rated R movies by myself. And I saw this kind of solo by myself in the movie theater, and I was like, whoa, this movie's intense, man. The street fights and the brawls in this movie are just really intense. I remember it had Malcolm in the Middle dude, Frankie Muntz, when he was like first getting famous and was going in movies and stuff like that after the TV show. Steven Dorff's in it. This is a great movie, one of my favorite movies there, and that was in 2002. And 2 years after that, in 2004, he was in Employee of the Month with Steve Zahn, kind of a comedy knockoff Robin movie. Matt Dillon did a lot of robbery type movies and heist movies. And then I think in 2004, he did Crash, which should have won Academy Awards. I think it did win Academy Awards. And this movie's really good. It has a bunch of different stories and stuff like that. A lot of great actors are in this movie. Sandra Bullock, Don Cheadle, Brandon Fraser, Terrence Howard, Ludacris. I hated him. I shouldn't hate, but you know, I never liked Ludacris, man. He's just a pain in the butt. Lawrence Tate, the guy that was in Menace to Society and Love Jones, great actor. Yeah. And this movie, he plays an alcoholic. This movie is from 2005. Matt Dillon plays an alcoholic. Really good if you want to know what like a alcoholic drug addiction movie. I have a lot of those type of movies. Marissa Tomei's in it. Pretty cool. I don't remember this movie much, but I know he's like an alcoholic. I gotta watch this one. This is a good one there. 2006, he was in You, Me, and Dupree with Owen Wilson. This is a great movie. This movie surprised me. I really enjoyed this movie. It is definitely going to make you laugh. Just a great comedy movie. Tons of good, funny stuff going on in this movie. I love this movie. This was better than Wedding Crashers. This movie's up there in the best comedy movies there was. To me, it's up there with like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Not better than Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Due Date, that's kind of up there in one of the great new movies, comedy movies. This is one of them too. This was a great movie. Love that one. And then in 2008, he was in Nothing But the Truth, kind of a lawyer type movie, inspired by true events, courtroom drama movie, if you like that. He was in Old Dogs with Robin Williams. This movie came out a year after that in 2009. Great movie there. Love that one. I think he had a small role in that. He's not like a main person. And here's another type of heist robbery movie. This movie came out in 2010. It's called Takers. Chris Brown's in it. Paul Walker's in it. Whole bunch of other actors are in this movie. Jay Hernandez. What happened to Jay Hernandez? He's not really in that many movies anymore. He was pretty cool. Crazy Love. What was it? Crazy Beautiful. That was a good movie with Jay Hernandez. And then the last movie that I have that Matt Dillon was in was Sunlight Jr., which looked like a cool movie. I think I might have paid a little bit more money for this one just because it seemed interesting to me. You guys can read the back. Yeah, Generation Cycle of Poverty. I love movies where it's dramas about like people that are kind of down and out. They're having to deal with poverty, getting like a job, having to get back on their feet. This looks kind of like that movie. I think that's why I bought this movie, but I haven't seen it yet. And Naomi Watts is in it. So that's my Matt Dillon collection, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what Matt Dillon movies that I'm missing in my collection so I can get it. And see you guys for the next actor. Have a good one. God bless.